Kayce's freedom in Yellowstone's ending was set up way back in the show's very first episode. Yellowstone offers Kayce, Luke Grimes, a poignant ending in which he finally achieves his freedom from the burden of caring for the Dutton Ranch, which was prepared for in the neo-Western's pilot episode. The ending of the Yellowstone series finally wraps up the saga of the Dutton family after John's Kevin Costner murder. The final half of Season 5 begins with the revelation that John has been killed, his death staged to look as if he had done it to himself. It all ends by showing what happens to the main characters after they sell John's ranch. Kayce is instrumental both in the sale of the ranch and in learning what happened after discovering Yellowstone's John Dutton is dead. His violence toward the man behind the assassination is out of character, as Kayce threatens a child with a gun. However, he redeems himself by selling the ranch to Chief Rainwater, Gil Birmingham, at a low price so that Rainwater wouldn't have to pay heavy property taxes. This choice returns the land to the indigenous people and frees Kayce of the heavy task of protecting his father's legacy, causing him to cry tears of joy after the sale. Yellowstone Season 1 plunges Kayce into a web of secrets and lies that almost cost him both his freedom and his marriage. During the series' premiere episode, the Duttons go to war with Chief Rainwater over some livestock that both John and Rainwater claimed, leaving Kayce stuck in the middle because of his loyalty to both Monica's, Kelsey Asbill, family and his own. Kayce's attempt to protect Lee, Dave Annable, during a skirmish only makes everything worse, as Kayce doesn't want Monica to know he fatally shot her brother to try to save his. While Monica doesn't know the details of that night, she knows her husband is hiding something, which puts more pressure on him. Monica's belief that Kayce's association with the ranch is causing issues in their marriage is not entirely off base. Meanwhile, Kayce is desperate to escape the trap he was stuck in, which is ruining his life. He loses his freedom temporarily when he is arrested by the tribal authorities, and his marriage almost unravels, making it clear where loyalty to John is taking him and starting a series-long quest to escape this fate. Throughout Yellowstone's run, Kayce can't reconcile his identity as a Dutton with his loyalty to the indigenous people he is related to via marriage. He is often a fierce advocate for the tribe's well-being and sometimes risks his life to help protect tribal members, such as when he acts as a vigilant to get justice for an indigenous girl who was kidnapped by two white men who came onto the reservation solely to hurt the people who lived there. However, the tribe does not fully trust him because of his allegiance to the Duttons. Kayce's decision to sell the ranch resolves this inner turmoil and external conflict. He gives up his father's legacy to the tribe, restoring the land to them in exchange for only a small portion where he and his family could live. This not only frees him from the burden of following John's path, but affirms that his loyalty is completely to the indigenous tribe. His connection to them is symbolized beautifully when he, Monica, and Moses brings plenty, all have the same vision of a wolf digging for food in their fields. Kayce and his family are now living on the East Camp property, which Chief Rainwater agrees to let them keep in exchange for buying the rest of the property for only $1.25 per acre. The shared vision of the wolf suggests that Kayce is on the right path and that the land has been blessed by the spirits of the animals who once roamed the area. He also chooses to reject Rip's Kohlhauser offer of taking the Yellowstone sign to hang over his property, further cementing the idea that he plans to dissociate completely from John's ideas for his life. While Kayce is in a good place, he may need more help working the land than he admits. Rip offers to help if Kayce finds that making a living on his property is too hard to do by himself. Thus, there could still be stories for Yellowstone or its sequel to tell about Kayce's new quest to learn how to live on the land. He might also need to figure out how to accept help from Beth, Kelly Riley, and rip without falling back into shady behavior that leaves him trapped in a web of lies. The journey toward Kayce Dutton's freedom in Yellowstone unfolds not only as a culmination of his personal struggles, but as a masterclass in storytelling, intricately woven into the very fabric of the show's beginning. As the series progresses, it becomes clear that the seeds of Kayce's eventual release from the chains of his past were sown in the very first episode. This detailed, slow-burn narrative is a testament to the show's deep commitment to its characters and the overarching themes of legacy, loyalty, and the price of power. From the outset, Yellowstone introduces Kayce Dutton, the son of John Dutton, the powerful and unforgiving patriarch of the Dutton family. Kayce is a man caught between two worlds: the brutal world of the Dutton Ranch, where legacy and survival dominate, and the softer, more hopeful life with his wife, Monica, and their son, Tate. He is a man haunted by his past, the trauma of his military service, and the fractured relationship with his family. In the first episode, he is positioned as a man who has already made his peace with the violence and the choices that come with being a Dutton. But there is also an undercurrent of regret and loss that defines his character, an element that grows in significance as the show progresses. Kayce's first encounter with his father, John, is one of cold authority. John is not a man who offers forgiveness, and his love is shown through harsh actions rather than comforting words. It's in these early interactions where the groundwork for Kayce's freedom is subtly laid. He is a soldier, a protector, but also a man yearning for a life outside of the violence and endless battlefields. His marriage to Monica, a Native American woman, symbolizes his desire to escape the generational cycle of violence and to create something more for himself and his family. Yet, as the series unfolds, it's clear that escaping the Dutton legacy is a complicated and often dangerous endeavor. Kayce's trauma from his military service plays a pivotal role in his character development. The PTSD he suffers from is not just a result of war, but also a consequence of his involvement in the violent world of the Dutton family. It's a cycle that mirrors the violent history of the American West, one of bloodshed, betrayal, and loss. The first episode hints at this, showing Kayce's struggles with his inner demons. This trauma is not easily healed, and it permeates his actions throughout the series, often leading him into situations where his freedom feels out of reach. Yet in Yellowstone, freedom is not just about physical escape. It's about breaking free from the psychological chains that bind a person to their past. Kayce's path to freedom is, in many ways, a journey of self-realization. His internal conflict is mirrored by the external pressures of the Dutton family, who demand loyalty at all costs. The tension between Kayce's need for independence and his loyalty to his family creates a dynamic that is both heartbreaking and relatable. His desire to protect Monica and Tate is at odds with the demands of the Dutton Ranch, leading to moments of profound inner turmoil. As Kayce's journey unfolds, the moments of freedom he experiences are fleeting, often overshadowed by the weight of his responsibilities. He is pulled back into the violence of the Dutton legacy time and time again, from the brutal death of his brother Lee in the first season to the complex political and familial battles that follow. But throughout all of this, the one thing that remains constant is his love for his family, particularly his son, Tate. The show uses Tate as a symbol of what Kayce is fighting for, a representation of the hope for a future that is not defined by bloodshed. The pivotal moment in Kayce's journey toward freedom comes in the later seasons, when he is forced to confront the truth about his role in the Dutton legacy. The tension between his duties as a rancher and his desire for a life outside of that world reaches its breaking point. It is in these moments of crisis that Kayce begins to truly understand the meaning of freedom, not as an escape, but as a conscious choice to live on his own terms, even if it means defying his father and his family. In the final episodes, Kayce's decision to leave behind the life of violence and power that the Dutton family represents is a culmination of everything that has come before. It is a choice that was always available to him, yet one that he had to earn through years of struggle and self-discovery. Kayce's freedom is not just about leaving the ranch. It's about choosing a different path for himself, one where he can be a better father, husband, and man. The show never shies away from showing the consequences of that decision, but it also portrays the quiet strength it takes to make such a choice.